Hi everybody, Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, founder of Crawford Performance Solutions, and I've got a question for you. How valuable would it be if after learning the material on this video, no person or situation could stress you out, jerk your chain, or rattle your cage? I know when I ask that question in my seminars and my keynotes, the most popular response is priceless. Matter of fact, one person even said, "I'll give you my firstborn and I only have one child." Now, you may not be one of these folks that get stressed out. You just might want to bring more clarity, confidence, creativity to everything you do. Regardless of which category you find yourself in, I think you'll be pleased to know that I've spent the last 25 years of my life creating a system that is designed to teach you how to live life so that no person or situation can stress you out, jerk your chain, rattle your cage, and how to bring more clarity, confidence, creativity to everything you do. Who am I? Well, as I said, I'm a psychologist. I've had the pleasure of writing 4 books. I've done 2 PBS specials that have been shown around the country. But I think what you're most interested in is the system that I've created, and I want to take this opportunity to show you this system so that you can determine whether it's something you want to learn more about. Basically, I want to show you what I've learned and what it can do for you. What I've learned is that everything we think, everything we feel, how we experience life, what we do is all controlled by how the brain processes information. And what's cool about that is that we can become more influential in this process, and therefore we can determine what we think, how we feel, how we experience life. Let me show you what I mean. Most people have heard at some point in their lives that we've got basically 3 parts to the brain. Lower part of the brain is called the brainstem. This is where our fight or flight responses are located. It's the part of the brain that regulates our muscle tension, heart rate, blood pressure, breathing, etc. Middle part of the brain is called the limbic system. This is the part of the brain that acts as a gatekeeper, almost like a scanner and a router. It scans incoming data and either routes it down to the brainstem or up to the neocortex, this upper 80% of the brain, where we have access to our interpersonal skills, our problem-solving skills, our clarity, confidence, creativity, etc. So again, this is how it all works. Data comes in from our 5 senses, and it is first scanned by the limbic system. If the limbic system doesn't see a problem, I've got a remote here in my hand, no problem. Sends the data on up to the neocortex, brainstem works in the background, regulating breathing, muscle tension, heart rate, everything's fine. But if the limbic system senses anything or anyone it doesn't like, anything or anyone it has determined to be a problem or a stressor, or that is similar to any problem or stressor we've ever had in the past, it sends the data immediately down to the brainstem, bypassing the neocortex. At this point, the brainstem can only do 2 things, fight or flight, which means blood pressure goes up, muscle tension goes up, heart rate goes up. We get ready to strike out or withdraw, that fight or flight response you've heard so much about. Matter of fact, in the latest brain research, this is called downshifting because it happens so quickly. And again, for our purposes, what we need to know is that it bypasses the most intelligent, capable, purposeful part of who we are. Now, in a fight or flight situation, this is exactly what we want to happen, right? I mean, if we're walking down the street and somebody jumps at you from the bushes, you don't have to stand there and go, somebody just jumped at me from the bushes. Wonder what I should do, you know? Wow, that's a perfect response in a fight or flight situation. The problem is we are engaging this lower 20%, this fight or flight part of the brain in non-fight or flight situations. Matter of fact, in situations where we need access to our best interpersonal skills, problem-solving skills, clarity, confidence, creativity, compassion. Now remember, this lower part of the brain is also where chemicals actually are dumped into our body. These chemicals are adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. And matter of fact, this is what stress is. You know, I've written books on stress. I've done PBS specials on stress. And what I like to show people is that stress isn't what something or someone is doing to us, because that's what most people think. It's one of the myths that really get in people's way. Traffic stresses me out. Work stresses me out. My kids, my boss, whatever. If that were the case, we would have to go change all those things before we could feel any differently. What stress really is just a series of chemical changes in our body, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. Don't really need to know what they are other than that's what stress is, or more importantly, when this adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol is dumped into our body, we become more stressed, more frustrated, more angry, more anxious, more resentful, all the feelings and reactions we don't like. Now, the problem isn't that that happens every once in a while. The problem is this happens a lot. We start trying to deal with life from this perspective, trying to deal with difficult people, difficult situations, deadlines, deadbeats, in-laws, outlaws, babies, bosses, all the things that in the past have triggered that stress, and we're just not very good at it. The reason we're not very good at it is because this part of the brain, this lower 20% of the brain, is not designed to deal with those complex interpersonal and logistical situations. Which means when we try to deal with life from this lower 20% of the brain, we get more stressed, we get more frustrated, we become more angry, resentful, argumentative, whatever. The limbic system goes, aha, more negative data, sends it right back down to the brain stem, and we become trapped in this lower 20% of the brain. This particular response generally shows up in one of two ways. You've seen the people with the bone in their mouth that says, I'm right, you know, those angry, frustrated, resentful folks. Or some people just go, I don't care, it's all over, just beat me now, withdraw, give up, give in. One of the two, fight or flight. I call this the world of the undermind because it's physically under the rest of our mind, and it's where we feel undermined by all of the triggers and stressors out there. And again, remember, the problem isn't this happens every once in a while. The problem is we go from situation to situation, and we become trapped in this lower 20% of the brain. You may have seen these articles in Newsweek and Discover where they did a pretty nice job of looking at how stress, frustration, anxiety, anger not only changes the chemical makeup of our body, but actually influences the way our brain processes information. So, rather than leaving you trapped in this lower 20% of the brain, I have created a system that is designed to do two things. Number one, help you shift from this lower 20% of the brain up into the upper 80%, from the brainstem to the neocortex, and change the chemical makeup of your body when you are doing that, from adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol to serotonin and endorphins. This is a three-part system that I call life from the top of the mind, because it's the ability to engage this clear, confident, creative, compassionate part of who we are, no matter what situation we're in, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does to us. Let's look at this in a little less technical way. Basically, what we're wanting to do is access this part of the brain, because this part of the brain is where we have access to all of the qualities and characteristics that help us become successful in life. Our ability to make plans, choose language, solve problems, our judgment, our clarity, our confidence, our creativity. And when we are up in this part of the brain functioning in this way, the brainstem and the limbic system work very nicely in the background, regulating blood pressure, muscle tension, heart rate, everything's fine. The problem becomes when we start seeing life as a problem, or specifically when this part of the brain, that limbic system, sees deadlines, lack of money, difficult people, no time as threats to our success, our happiness, whatever we're trying to accomplish. It engages this lower 20% of the brain and numbs the upper 80% of the brain, which again, remember, would be perfect in a fight or flight situation, but this is not a fight or flight situation. This is where we need access to our best. Unfortunately, when this limbic system and brainstem are engaged, we become more stressed, angry, frustrated, defensive, resentful, argumentative, all the things that are understandable but that don't serve us. And then when we try to deal with life from this perspective, life gets worse. Have you noticed that? The deadlines seem more problematic. The difficult people seem more difficult, which again has the limbic system, more negative data, sending it right back down to the brainstem. And this is what it's like. And again, what is important is when we are trapped down here, this part of the brain is numbed. It's why if you've ever tried to deal with a difficult person and you tried to be rational with them, or tried to give them data, or tried to calm them down, calm down, don't tell me to calm. They don't want to calm down. This part of the brain doesn't want to calm down. It wants to either fight or flee. And when we try to operate from that, those are our only options. What we want to do is to be able to shift to this upper 80% of the brain. And in order to do that, we need a new perspective on life. We need to know how to do that in any situation. This is what I call life from the top of the mind. It's the ability to do that and not only engage our clarity, our confidence, our creativity, but our compassion, our ability to care and nurture for ourselves and others. See, this isn't just an intellectual model. I love the life from the top of the mind perspective, because what it does is it says we can go into any situation clear about who we are, how we want to be, who we want to influence, And we can do that in a way where we are bringing our best to every situation in a way we would recommend to someone we loved. In order to help you do this, I've created a roadmap to take us from where we are, trapped in that lower 20% of the brain every once in a while, to where we want to be in this upper 80% of the brain, where we have access to all of those qualities and characteristics. The first part of the system, as I've mentioned, is about how to shift from the brainstem to the neocortex and change the chemical makeup of our body from adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol to serotonin and endorphins. This is a behavioral model. It's a 5-step model you can do anywhere, anytime, takes about 15, 20 seconds tops, and it will allow you, every step of the process is about engaging the neocortex and having the neocortex take over a function normally controlled by the brainstem. Pretty cool. However, if we just stop there, then when you went back into the situation, you would just fall back into the brainstem. So part 2, which is where I bring in the clarity, confidence, and creativity, that C-cubed component, is where I show you how to stay in the top of the mind, stay having access to these qualities and characteristics, and apply your best to every situation. I mean, just think what that would mean to your interactions with others, your dealings with your kids, your work, interactions with your colleagues, your spouse. It can just change every aspect of our life. So once we get good at shifting from the brainstem to the neocortex and staying there and applying that to all aspects of life, then I bring in part 3. I call this graduate school because this is the toughest part of the model. It's one thing to deal with a printer or a deadline. It's another thing when someone is like in your face, right? So what I encourage people to do is get good at this first and then go to graduate school. And here's where I teach you how to deal with others. Now, the nifty thing about this is we also use the brain information. I show you when people are argumentative with you, when they're resistant to your message, when they're not hearing what you're wanting them to hear, that means they're stuck in that lower 20% of the brain. So I give you several models in part 3 about how to engage others so that they shift from their brainstem to their neocortex. And now the conversation is a solution-focused conversation versus just some debate about who's right. So how do you learn this? Well, there's several ways you can work with me. As I said, I'm a psychologist. I see clients pretty much every day here in Houston. So you could come to Houston if you don't already live in Houston. People fly in, they work with me, put themselves up in a hotel, we have a great time. Other people fly me to their city, which is also fun. I love that. Put me up in a hotel. We work very intensively over a week or 2 weeks. I teach you that process. That is an option as well. For those of you who don't live in Houston or can't come to Houston or can't afford to bring me to Houston, I wanted to give you an opportunity to learn this information as well. So I have created a 10-disc audio system plus transcript that is designed to take you step by step from the very beginning throughout graduate school, allow you to learn this material a little bit at a time, practice it, get good at it, re-listen to some of these things. The people who have listened to this particular series say, "Thank you, Bill, for starting so simple and so basic, something I can do immediately, today." And then getting better and better and better and better. You know, becoming more influential in life is not a simple thing. And that's why this takes 10 discs in order to do it. However, it is guaranteed that after 10 discs, you will be able to live life in a way that you are much more influential in how you think, how you feel, who you are, in a way that no person or situation can stress you out, jerk your chain, rattle your cage. How valuable would that be? Let me show you how you can get it. Basically, again, we're talking about a 10-disc audio series where I walk you through 10 sessions, kind of like 10 sessions with me, at my rate of $100 an hour. That would be about $1,000, but the good news is you don't have to pay $1,000. Right now, I have it on my website for $247. You could go there and get it, but I'm going to encourage you not to do that because you're going to pay too much. I'm going to fix it so you don't have to pay $247. I'm going to give you a $50 discount on this product. Here's how you get it. You go to my website. I'll show you what that is in a minute. You go to the store and you'll see the product right there, that 10-disc product. But rather than choosing one and paying $247, click on the link that says special discount here. Because I want to make sure you don't have to pay $247. All you have to pay is $197. And I want to do something else for you. I know changing our life is not a simple, easy thing. So I want to support you in every way I can. Therefore, what I'm going to do is give you 2 free sessions with me. Anytime over a year from when you purchase the product till a year after that, you can set up a phone session, come to Houston, have me come wherever you are, and we could do 2 free sessions. If we added that, based on my normal rate of around $100 an hour, that would be around $1,200. But of course, you don't have to pay $1,200. All you're paying is $197. And I'll tell you what I'll do. Just to help you get this as impactfully, as powerfully as possible, I'm going to actually do this for the first 50 people who buy this product. I'm going to double that bonus to 4 free sessions with me. Anytime over the next year, all you got to do is call me up, or if you're in Houston, come on down. We'll do a session. We'll give you 4 free sessions with me to help you learn this material and make it real in your life. At my normal rate, around $100 an hour, this would be a $400 value. That makes the bonuses twice as much a value as the product itself. But remember, you don't have to pay $400, you don't have to pay $1,400 or $1,680. All you have to pay is $197. I mean, just think of the things we pay $197 for. A plumber, air conditioning person, right, if you live in Houston. College textbooks. Have you noticed we'll just spend $200-300 on college textbooks? We don't even like them. We don't even plan to read them. There is a survey from the American Automobile Association that says we spend $700 a month on our car. You know, with gas and insurance and maintenance and payments, $700 a month on average on our car. Don't you think our peace of mind, our serenity, our ability to bring our best to life, our clarity, confidence, creativity is worth more than how much we spend on our car? Worth $197? I hope you're finding this valuable. It is designed to help you live life so that no person or situation can stress you out, jerk your chain, rally your cage. And remember, I'm going to ship it to you free. You don't have to pay for the shipping. And you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If in 30 days you don't believe this is the best system you have ever encountered for bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity, compassion to your life, for you living life in a way that no person or situation can stress you out, jerk your chain, rattle your cage, send it back. No problems, no guilt, no problem. I'll just refund your money. It's not a problem. If you don't want it, I'm fine with that. All you got to do is send it back within 30 days, and I will give you your money back. So here's how you get that. Basically, what it's about is living life this way. You go to my website. Remember I told you I'd tell you what that is, BillCPhD.com or BillCrawfordPhD.com. Either one will get you there. And when you go there, you'll see a video kind of like this starting to play. And by the way, if you want to, you can put your name and address there, and you will get 3 free videos that tell you even more about the system. I wanted to do this really quickly so that you could get a real quick snapshot of it. But if you want it in more depth, sign up for those 3 free videos, and you'll get them in the mail, in the emails. But if you're going, no, Bill, I just want the system. How can I get the system? You go to my website, and there will be in the nav bar, there's a place called the store. You click on the store. You will see the picture of that 10-disc system. Don't buy it at $247. Click on the special discount. It will take you to a page where you get your special discount. It will show up in my inbox. I'll email you, say, great, when do you want your 4 free sessions? You set them up anytime you want. You can listen to the material first and then do the sessions. You can have the sessions as you go along with the material, whatever you want. I hope this has been valuable for you. The people who I've worked with over the years tell me that this information has changed their life. It certainly changed mine. Reminds me of a quote from Albert Einstein that says, problems cannot be solved at the same level of awareness that created them. I find this new awareness about how to access the most clear, confident, creative, compassionate parts of our brain is amazing in dealing with life in such a different way. I want that for you. I want you to be able to go into any situation where no person or situation can stress you out, jerk your chain, rally your cage. So, go to the website, click on the special discount after you get to the store, or again, if you want the free videos, put your name and address right there on the homepage. It has been a pleasure. I hope this has been valuable for you. I look forward to seeing you again, and I look forward to helping you live life so that no person or situation can stress you out, jerk your chain, rattle your cage, and bring more clarity, confidence, and creativity to everything you do.